A very good morning, everyone. Very good morning. Welcome to today's Unit 2 class. I hope all of you are keeping fine, doing good. Guys, everybody, today we start our final practical chapter. Okay, topic number 19, JavaScript. Okay, and from all your programming languages, this is the toughest and the strictest, and that's English word even. It's the, what do you call, it's very strict. Meaning in HTML and CSS, capital simple didn't matter, right? In HTML and CSS, if you open the tag or didn't close it properly, it would still work. But in JavaScript, it's case sensitive. Capital simple matters. Is it clear? If you don't open a tag, if you don't close it properly, the whole code doesn't work. If you miss a period, you miss a comma, you miss a semicolon, the whole code doesn't work. Okay, everybody. Finding mistakes in JavaScript is a lot more difficult than HTML and CSS. So everybody will start really slow and we'll try and understand every single piece of code that we type. Okay, right, everybody, let's get started. Now, everybody, guys, girls, all of y'all, in HTML, what was the purpose of HTML? HTML is used to control the content of your web page. Everyone listening to me, boys, girls, all of y'all. HTML controls the content of your web page. The paragraphs, the headings, the images, the objects. Is it clear? The hyperlinks, the videos, the audios. Is it clear? The content, what you show a user, the content is controlled using HTML. The styling was done using the layouts, the font colors, the fonts, we were using CSS. Everybody okay with it? So the content was done using HTML. The styling was done using CSS. Now we move on to the third one, the interactivity of your web page. When the user clicks, something should happen. If the user types this should be the output. Otherwise, this should be the output. You get it? The interactivity of your web page, how the web page responds to you, is going to be controlled using JavaScript. When the user presses a button, what should happen? If the user types a wrong value in the form, what is the output that should be shown? The interactivity, the way the web page behaves, the way the web page responds to you will be done using JavaScript. Everyone okay with this? So again, I'm repeating, the content was controlled using HTML, the paragraphs, images, headings, bold, italic, all that was controlled using HTML. The styling part of it was controlled using CSS. Now, the behavior of your web page, the way the web page responds to the user, the behavior of the web page is going to be controlled using JavaScript. Okay, everybody, again, we continue with Sublime Text or Visual Studio, okay? No new software not yet, okay? Right, everybody, can you look at this web page over here? This is one of our old lessons. Everyone saw? This is one of our old lessons. Boys, look here, this particular heading, this paragraph, this heading, this paragraph, each and every one of them is an element. Agree? Every part of your web page is what we call an element. Agree with me, right? So everyone, if I show you all the code, you all can see you have your title element, you have your head element, you have your body element. Inside your body, you have a H1 element, a paragraph element, another paragraph element. Agree? These are what we call elements, or we call them tags. Are we okay with this? Inside your elements, you can put some code to modify those elements. No? Anyone remember what we call those? What you use to modify an element? Sorry? For example, what do we call style? Style is a attribute, right? Style is an attribute. Inside an attribute, what can you have? Inside an attribute, text align is a what? Everyone? This is an element. Inside an element, you can have attributes. Inside attributes, you can have, one remembers? Everyone, again, I'm going to ask. We have elements, or you can call them tags. Elements are better. This is an element. Inside an element, you can have an attribute. Inside your attributes, you can have properties. Inside your elements, inside your attributes, you can have properties. Are we okay with this? You have elements. Inside the elements, you have attributes. Those attributes can have multiple properties. Now, guys, do you all remember? Everyone, look here below. Do you all remember in CSS? In CSS, were you able to refer to a particular element? In CSS, guys, do you remember I referred to one particular element? Remember? How did we refer to elements in CSS? We had many ways of doing it. For example, I can refer to all the elements using, not hashtag, using asterisk. Okay, star, but we say asterisk. That was called a universal selector. Everyone look over here. As well, some of you are giving me, looks like I'm talking something new. Everyone look here. Do you all remember this? Open with. Everyone look here. Do you all remember this? In CSS, I can refer to all the tags using this asterisk. Where is it? Where is it? I haven't done that example. Here, over here. Everyone remember this? When I put asterisk, it means what? I'm referring to all the elements. Otherwise, I can refer to an element by its tag name. Remember, what were we calling it? Element selector. Otherwise, I could refer to an element by its ID. What were we calling this? ID selector. Otherwise, I could refer to an element by its class name. We were calling this a class selector. Remember, in CSS, how were you referring to your elements? You were using universal element, or you were using the element selector, or you were using ID selector, or you were using class selector. Do you remember we also learned combined selectors? Like what? Adjacent sibling selector. What else? Descendant selector, general sibling selector. You remember these? Why were we using these? We were using these in order to refer to content in your HTML web page. Everybody okay with this? We were using these selectors in order to refer to content in our HTML web page. Guys, are you listening to my words carefully? In JavaScript, we are going to do the same thing. In JavaScript, you will do your coding and then you will tell your coding who are you referring to in HTML, not who, what. You get it? In JavaScript also, just like CSS, you will put your coding and then you will mention exactly what are you referring to. Are you referring to H1 or H2 or paragraph? Not only now in CSS, you can only refer to an element now. In JavaScript, you can even refer to the properties of an element. Did you hear what I told you all? Let's say, for example, everyone, I'll give you all an example. In JavaScript, you can control this paragraph. You can control this element. You can also control the color of this paragraph, which means the property of this paragraph. You get it? Again, I'm repeating, in HTML, you can only control an element. In JavaScript, you can control the element plus the properties of that element also you can control. Okay, this is an introduction. I'm going to show it to you all very shortly now. Everyone okay with this? So guys, girls, all of y'all need to understand something. In JavaScript, guys, in your note, I have mentioned it, but for now, y'all can look at my screen. Guys, online, I'm sorry, I didn't see your messages. Now only I'm seeing it. Everybody, in JavaScript, there's something, there's a basic, the word is not coming to my head. You all need to know something called document object model. Okay, in JavaScript, we are going to heavily use something called a document object model. What is a document object model? What is this DOM? DOM is all about where, everyone look at this image over here. It will be better if I show you all this image. Look, in document object model, basically, what does JavaScript do? JavaScript is basically trying to identify every element in your HTML web page. You guys get it? So look over here. This is what a DOM tree looks like. Everyone look here. What does it do? It's basically identifying every element individually in your web page. Can you guys see? It's first identifying that there is something called an HTML element. Inside that HTML element, you have a head, you have a body. Inside that head, you have a title. Inside that title, you have some text written called my title. Okay, inside the body, you have an anchor tag. You also have an H1 tag. Inside the anchor tag, you have an attribute called href. Inside the H1 tag, you have some text called my header. Basically, what DOM does, basically what document object model does is, it basically identifies every element inside your web page. Are we all okay with this? Are all of you listening to me? What does document object model do? It basically breaks up your HTML web page into tiny elements. Just like the example I have shown you all. What did it do? It first found out the HTML element. Then it saw what is inside HTML. It identified two parts. The head is there, the body is there. Is it clear? Then it saw inside the head, there is only one element called title. Inside the title, there is some text called my title. Then inside the body, what are the elements? Sorry. Inside the body, what are the elements? What are the elements it identified? There is an anchor tag inside it. There is an H1 tag inside it. Inside the anchor tag, what are the properties inside it? href, not property, attribute. What is the attribute inside it? href. Inside element, are there any attributes? No, but there is some text called my header inside it. So basically, this document object model basically creates a map of the elements and attributes inside an HTML web page. Is it clear? This is what your document object model does. After it creates a map, it will allow JavaScript to access each and every one of these elements. You get it? It basically creates a map, and now JavaScript can access any one of them as it wishes. Okay, if you all are confused, guys, that's normal. Everybody who learned JavaScript for the first time went through this confusion phase. Okay, just like how when you all learned HTML, first few weeks, you all are a little confused. But as you all kept practicing it, it slowly started to make sense to you all. Okay, so go easy upon yourselves. Okay, guys online. Okay, so we all need to first know about this document object model, where your HTML page is broken into individual elements. Why are they broken into individual elements? So that now JavaScript can access each of these elements. Okay, now I'm going to show you all in real life how this document object model works. Okay, so everybody, let's get started. So boys, girls, everybody, let's get started now, and then we'll read these notes. Okay, right. So everybody, can you all just read this with me first? If you all are confused, just read this with me. The HTML document object model is a standard object model and programming interface for HTML. What does it define? It defines the HTML elements as objects. Didn't I just show that to you all? It's taking every element as a separate object. The HTML tag is a separate object. The head, separate object. Body, separate object. Inside the head, we have an object called title. Inside the body, we have an object called anchor tag and h1 tag. It's taking each element as a separate object. Not only that, read the next sentence. It also separates the properties of all HTML elements. It will also look at each property as a separate part. Read this third sentence. The methods. Methods, of course, I can't explain to you all now. I'll explain it a little later to you all. Methods and events, guys, a little later I'll explain it to you all. Okay, but for now, you all saw the elements and properties, no? It will identify every element as a separate object, every property as a separate object. Okay, right. Everybody, if you all are confused, let's get started now. So everybody, can we move on to lesson number? I'm going to move on to lesson number. Let's zoom out here. I'm going to move on to lesson number. Close this. Lesson number 30, lesson number 40. Lesson number 40, accessing HTML elements in JavaScript. Okay, so everyone, let's open up Sublime Text. Let's open up Sublime Text. And what am I going to do over here? I'm going to save this as lesson number 40. File, save. Sorry, new file. And I'm going to save this as save. Everybody, where are we? My classes, FTAS, Unit 2, lesson number 40. Lesson number 40, what do we call it? Accessing HTML elements. .html. I'm saving this in HTML format, okay? Accessing HTML elements .html, okay? Okay, accessing HTML elements .html. So at the beginning, nothing complex. Give me a second, please. Okay, I'm going to save it. Can you get your opening tags, everybody? Everybody, can you get your opening HTML tags? We say HT and we have the HTML snippet now. I'll take it. For title, I'll just say accessing HTML elements. Then can you all have a heading that says the following? Accessing HTML elements using JavaScript. Okay. Then guys, I'm going to have a paragraph over here that says this paragraph was created using only HTML. This paragraph was created using only HTML. Okay. Then I'm going to have another paragraph, but I'm going to keep it blank. I'm not going to keep it blank. Okay, I'm going to have another paragraph over here. This paragraph over here, it's going to be blank. And I'm going to give it an ID so that I can refer to it. Okay, I'm going to give it an ID. ID is what? ID is called, we'll call it para1. I'm going to give it an ID. It's blank. Huh? We have a paragraph, but no content inside it. Okay. Now, the moment I put JavaScript into this web page, we are going to use something called the document object model. What will the document object model do? It will basically create a map of my web page, and it will identify each element individually. Each element, HTML separately, head separately, meta separately, title separately, body separately, H1 separately, the two paragraphs separately. Okay, the moment I integrate JavaScript into this, the document object model, what does it do? It basically creates a map of my web page and identifies each element individually. Now, since it's identifying each element individually, I can then access each element as I wish. Now, what is my requirement? Everybody, using JavaScript, I want to control this particular paragraph. Okay, I'm going to control only this particular paragraph using JavaScript. Okay, this paragraph is right now blank. Using JavaScript, I'm going to put some content inside it. So everybody, we are now about to integrate JavaScript into our web page. So watch it. Everybody, you can put JavaScript in the head area. You can put it in the body area. When do we put in head? When do we put in body? Maybe later on I will teach it to you all. Today, just follow me here. Okay. I will later on explain when do we put it in the head, when do we put it in the body. Okay. For today, for now, we'll start with the head. So everybody, inside the head, I'm going to open a tag called script. Script means this is my JavaScript. So I open script. Script open, script closed. Everyone saw it? We forgot to check our web page now. We forgot to check the output of our web page. Can everyone just check whether everything is okay? Is the web page working as expected? What you should be seeing is a title, a heading, and a paragraph. The blank paragraph you obviously shouldn't be seeing. Everyone, I'm opening up my file in Google Chrome, and it's appearing as normal, nothing unusual as such. The title is there, no problem. The heading is there, no problem. The first paragraph is there. The second paragraph is not going to appear because I didn't put any content in it, right? The second paragraph, I didn't put a content. I only put an ID for it. I didn't put content for it. So it's not going to appear. Okay, right. Then everybody, all done? Now using JavaScript, I'm going to access para1. Okay, so I have to use a method. Everyone, the method that I'm going to use is something called document.getElementById. Did you hear my words? I'm going to access this paragraph using JavaScript. What is the method I'm going to use? Listen to my words. I'm going to use a method. I'm going to use a JavaScript method to access this element. What is the method I'm going to use? Watch it very carefully. Inside JavaScript, I'm going to use a method. What is this method called? Document. Everybody, JavaScript is case sensitive. Capital and simple matters. Okay, if you put capital D, it will definitely not work for you. Okay, it has to be simple D. Document dot get element by ID. Now look at this. Get simple G, element capital E, by capital B, ID capital I. Okay, everyone, I'm accessing this paragraph by using a JavaScript method called document.getElementById. What is the method I'm using? Get element. I missed the T. No, nobody told me. Get element by ID. What is the ID I'm referring to? The ID I'm referring to is what? Para1. I'm referring to para1. Okay. So everybody, when I say document, I'm talking about my document object model. That's what document means. Dot get element by ID is my method. I'm referring to an HTML element by its ID. Then guys, I want to control the content that appears inside this paragraph. So for that, we use a property called dot inner HTML. Inner HTML. You have to type it exactly like this. Inner is simple, HTML is capital. And you know what the terrible part here is? There is no auto suggesting for JavaScript. There is, what are you using? Visual Studio is auto suggesting it for you. Okay. So Sublime Text is not auto suggesting them. Okay, right. So Sublime Text doesn't do any auto suggestions for JavaScript. Okay, it does, but Visual Studio also does it, right? I haven't used Visual Studio a lot. Okay, everyone, document is the document object model. Dot get element by ID is the method, JavaScript method that I'm using. Okay, the method that I'm using to access an HTML element. I'm accessing an HTML element by its ID. What's its ID? Para1. What is the property I'm using? Dot in HTML. Dot in HTML means what? The content inside this paragraph is equal to, now type whatever you want to display. What do you want to display inside this paragraph? This paragraph was created using JavaScript. And then guys, it's not compulsory, but I recommend it. End all your JavaScript statements with a semicolon. This is not mandatory, recommended. End all your JavaScript statements with a semicolon. Make it a habit. Okay. Document dot get element by ID. Which ID are you referring to? I'm referring to para1. Okay, what do you want to do with it? It's inner HTML. The content inside this paragraph should say what? This paragraph was created using JavaScript. Okay. Everyone save it and go and see what happens now. Save it. Save it. And now come and refresh your web browser. Happening. Sorry? Sorry, Siri, not you. I thought it was you. Okay. Everybody, come and refresh your web browser. Did you all see the changes? You all didn't see any changes, right? Everyone, absolutely nothing happened, right? Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay. You all didn't see any changes? No, you all should not see any changes. If you're seeing a change, there's a problem. Okay, right. Everyone, going back to the basics now. Why didn't you all see any change? Any chance anyone knows why? Guys, how is a web page read? From top to bottom. Agree? How is a web page read? From top to bottom. So at the beginning, what am I telling? At the beginning, I'm telling using JavaScript, I'm saying inside this paragraph, what to do? Put this paragraph was created using JavaScript. At the beginning, this is what I'm saying. So my web browser does this. My web browser will do this at the beginning. Then my web browser comes down and reads, it has to put a heading. It puts a heading. Then my web browser reads, there needs to be a paragraph that says this paragraph was created using only HTML. It does that. Then what does my web browser read? There is a paragraph which is blank. So what is the last action it does? What is the last action it does? It makes this paragraph blank. Everyone understood? So that is the output you see on your web page. It's not wrong. It's that the last action you told your web browser to do was what? Keep the paragraph blank. You guys get what I'm saying? Your web browser reads the code from top to bottom. So you first said inside para1, put this text. Okay, it did that for you. But then when it came down at the end, what did you say? Keep this paragraph blank, right? At the end, what is the last thing you said? The last thing that you said was keep the paragraph blank. There's nothing inside it. So that's what it did for you. So the last action it did was emptying that paragraph for you. So there's nothing to show you. So everybody, how do we solve this? How do we solve this? Tell again. Put your script tag at the end. You guys get it? Now can you all cut your script tag? Everybody, cut your script tag and put it at the end. At the end means before the closing of your body tag. Let's cut this, everybody. This script tag. Let's cut it cut Control X, and can you all keep it after the paragraph tag? Can you keep it after your paragraph tag? So now the last action your web browser does is this. This is the last action your web browser will do. Now see if you all see the paragraph. Now save and go and refresh. So now when I save it, and now when I come and refresh it, there you are, the paragraph is now appearing. Everyone saw this? Because again, my web browser is reading from top to bottom. So it first puts a heading, it then puts this paragraph was created using only HTML, then it puts a blank paragraph. Then JavaScript says inside that blank paragraph, put this paragraph was created using JavaScript. Everybody okay with this? Sounds good. That means there is definitely a capital symbol period mistake there. Look carefully, you will see. Yeah. See if I can find the mistakes. Okay. Right. Boys, girls, everyone. Boys, everyone. Okay. Can you all have a subheading, everybody? Can we have a subheading? H2. This subheading, boys, this subheading was created using HTML. And then can you have another subheading and keep it blank? H2. Keep it blank. ID will be equal to heading 1. ID is equal to heading 1. Then using JavaScript, can you put a heading inside it? Document. First create the document object model. Document. Now mention your method. There are many methods. Today I'm only teaching you all get element by ID. Today the only method I'm teaching you all is get element by ID. We have another one called get elements by name. Okay, those all later on. Get element by ID. What is the ID I'm referring to this time? Heading 1. Heading 1. What's the property you want to use? Dot inner HTML. Dot inner HTML is equal to this this heading was created using JavaScript. Everyone, let's see if it works for me. Let me see if it works for me. When I come and refresh, it works perfectly well for me. One appears using only HTML, the other appears using JavaScript. Okay, we'll do one more after this. We'll work with images after this. Why are you coming to hotspot? This guy has to be a distraction. Hello, everyone. So we'll try an image after this. We'll try to change an image using JavaScript. Okay. Okay. Right, everybody. In our previous classes, we had a screenshot with us. Now, can we continue working with that? Everybody, we had a screenshot now. So everybody, can you all edit that screenshot and save it as screenshot 2 or something? Everybody, I want there to be a difference. I want you all to have 2 images. One image will insert using HTML, the other image I'll insert using JavaScript. So everybody, last time we had screenshot 1 now. I'm going to keep screenshot 1. I'm also going to edit it and save it as screenshot 2. Everyone, do you all have a screenshot with you all? In your folder, we had a screenshot image now. I'm going to open that with Paint. I'm going to open that with Paint. Open with Paint. and I'm just going to scribble on top of it. And I'm going to save this scribbled version as screenshot 2. So I'll just take the red color. I'll take red color and scribble on top of it. Okay, something like this. I'll just scribble on top of it. And I'll save this in the same folder as screenshot 2. Okay, the scribbled one, I'll save it as screenshot 2. File, save as JPEG. I'll save it as screenshot 2 in the same folder. My classes, FTAS, unit 2, screenshot 2. Everyone, you'll understand what I'm doing over here. I have two images now. I have screenshot 1, which has no scribbling on it. And then I have screenshot 2 with some scribbling on it. Okay? Can you all also do the same thing, guys, girls? Can you all have two images? If you all don't have screenshots, go and take a screenshot and come and save it here below. Take a screenshot, put it in Paint, save it, then edit it, save that as screenshot 2. Anyone needs any help in getting two images? Okay. So everybody, we have two images, right? Screenshot 1 and screenshot 2. So I'm going to insert screenshot 1 using HTML and I'll insert screenshot 2 using JavaScript. Okay. Just scribble or just make some changes. So what I did was I opened screenshot 1 with Paint. Open with Paint. Then take the paintbrush tool or the pencil tool and just make some changes so you know the difference. Okay, just scribble on top of it. Okay, then save it as screenshot 2. File, save as. You can choose JPEG, but make sure it's in the correct folder. Okay, make sure it's in your class folder. Don't put it somewhere else. It should be in the same folder. So I put it in my same unit 2 folder. Okay, are we good? Now what I'm going to do is, we got two images. Then shall we start? Using HTML, you guys all know how to insert an image now. So using HTML, I'll insert the image. So I come here, I'll open an image tag, img tag, src is equal to screen shot space 1.jpg, I think. Sorry, .png. Everybody, I'll put a width and height also. Width is only 50%. The width is only 50%. Shall I see how my image looks? When I come and refresh my web page, image has appeared. Everyone saw? Using HTML, my image has appeared without a problem. Now using JavaScript, I'm going to insert the same image. Everyone, do you all see your image using HTML? Everything is okay? It is the same folder. Now I'm going to replace this image using JavaScript. Okay. So everybody, boys, girls, all of y'all, using JavaScript, everyone, using JavaScript, I'm going to replace this. Now guys, how are you going to access the image tag? By its what? What method are you going to use? What method are you going to use to access the image? Get element by ID, right? Using the method called get element by ID, you are going to access it. So everybody, right now, image doesn't have an ID, so you can't access it. So can you guys give an ID for image? Everybody, first give an ID for image that you can access it. So I'll give it a simple ID like image, I'll just say image 1. The ID is image 1. Everyone saw this? Now I'll go into my JavaScript area and I'll say document. You have to first create the document object model. No, document dot. Now mention the method. The method is get element by ID. Okay, what's the ID? The ID is image 1. Then mention the property you're referring to. Now guys, what's the property I'm referring to? What's the attribute I'm referring to? I'm referring to its source, right? I want to change its source to screenshot to. So I don't say dot in HTML. I say dot src dot source. Mention the source. Okay. Dot source is equal to, and now mention the new file's name. What's the new file's name? Screenshot2.jpg. Everyone, why don't you look at my output first? Everyone, using HTML, I put screenshot 1. Using JavaScript, I access this element and I put screenshot 2. So watch. This is screenshot 1. Now when I refresh it, there you are. Screenshot 2 has appeared over there. Everyone okay with this? Can you all talk to yourselves and do this? Document means document object model. Get element by ID is your method. You're accessing the element by its ID. .src.html is the property or attribute that you're accessing. Is equal to, and you put your value. Sounds good? Anyone it's not working for? Okay, so you guys now know how to access HTML elements now. Let's take it to the next level. How do we access HTML properties or attributes? Okay, how do we change the image size using JavaScript? How do we change the heading color, background color using JavaScript? Is it clear? We'll now look at how to access attributes and properties using JavaScript. We know how to access elements now. Now we are going to look at how to access properties. Okay. Something is wrong. Check the capital symbols. The problem was solved. Everybody, now everyone, you all know how to access elements now. I'm now going to access properties. I'm going to show you how to use JavaScript to access properties. So guys, let's take lesson number 41. A new file, lesson 41. Boys, girls, we are going to create a new file, save, and I'm going to say 41 dash accessing HTML properties dot HTML. Accessing HTML properties dot HTML. Okay. You all know how to access elements. Now you all are going to see how to access properties. Okay. Accessing HTML properties dot HTML. All right. Can you guys get down the what do you call opening tags? Everybody, get down your opening tags. HTML will take the opening snippet. Title will be accessing HTML properties. Your body will say what? Accessing HTML properties using JavaScript. Then can you type the following heading? This heading this heading was modified. These headings, color and alignment was modified using JavaScript. Are we good? Have another subheading. This subheadings, font family and background color was modified, boys, using JavaScript. Then can you also have an image over here? IMG, screenshot 1. Its width, I want it to be, I don't know, 60%. I forgot to give IDs. Can you guys give IDs? ID equal heading 1, ID equal heading 2, and ID is equal to image 1. Give it ID so that we can refer to it. Second, I'll take attendance. Why is online attendance so poor today? He must be inside your right now, outside. I forgot to check my output. Everybody, let me check my output. So when I come and open up my web page 41, accessing HTML properties, this is what I see. Nothing unusual as such. Okay, guys, I'll give you all. Guys, can you all put some colors and so that we know what we are working with? Otherwise, you all won't notice now. Everybody, for H1, how do I change the color for H1? How do you change the font color in H1? Yes. Style equal color, open double quotes, color is, for now I'll just say red, semicolon. What's the next property? Text align is, I'll make it left. Okay, then for H2 also, can you put some properties? Using the style attribute. Style is equal to font family is, I don't know, we'll make it Arial, and background color will make it yellow. Background color is yellow. So everybody, let me see if these outputs have happened. These outputs have happened. This is red and left align. This is Arial and yellow color background. It has happened. Using JavaScript, I'm going to change these. Using JavaScript, heading 1's color is going to become something else. Heading 1's alignment is going to change. Using JavaScript, heading 2's font family is going to change. Background color is also going to change. Using JavaScript, the image's width is also going to change. Right, everybody, each of these guys, everybody, boys, girls, look here below. Now, I'm not going to access the element. I'm going to access the element's properties. I'm going to access the color and I'm going to access text align. Can everyone look at my screen now? Everyone look at the screen now below. So now we're going to start our JavaScript coding. So now at the end we say script. We open up our script tag and close our script tag. Inside our script tag, guys, boys, you have to first create your document object model. So we say document. Now mention the method that you're going to be using. I will be using a method called get elements by their ID. I'm going to refer to elements by their ID. That's the method I'm going to use. Get element by ID. The ID I'm going to refer to is heading 1. Heading 1. Now I'm going to access its property. Everyone stop and look here. I'm going to access the color now. You know how you access the color? You need to say dot, mention the attribute, and then mention the property of that attribute. So how does it go? Dot style dot color. You guys get it? You mention the attribute, then you mention the property here. Dot style dot color is equal to, we'll change it to blue, is equal to blue. Then I also want to change the alignment now. So again, the same thing. Document dot get element by the ID. The ID is again heading 1. I want to access its alignment. So I have to go to the property first, I have to go to the attribute first, which is style. Dot style dot text aligner is, I think we can't put a hyphen over here. It should be one word. Let me test it and tell you all first. Is what? Is center. Equal center. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we can't put a hyphen here. I'll check and tell you all. Save it. And now let's come and refresh it. No, you can't put a hyphen if I'm not mistaken. Text align. What was it for center? Text, capital A, text align. Yes. Everybody, boys, everyone, capital A over here. Okay, you can't put a hyphen. You have to put you can't put a dash. You have to put a capital A here. That's another rule. Okay, you can't put a hyphen here. You have to put a capital A over here. Then, guys, the next one, I'm going to refer to heading 2 now. Document dot get element by ID. Which ID am I referring to? I'm referring to heading 2 now. Heading 2 dot its attribute, its style, its property is what? Its font family. Font capital F family is equal to, we'll change it to chiller. End of HTML statement, JavaScript statement. Let's see if it works. It didn't work. I forgot, I missed a Y. Okay, it worked. And I want the background color. So again, Control C, Control V, dot background color, background capital C, color equal orange. So everyone saw this. It has now become orange in color. Can you all change the, using JavaScript, can you all change the width of the image to what? 80%? Something different happening over there. Can you all change the width of the image to 80% using JavaScript? So guys, when it comes to the image now, when it comes to the image, what do we do? Document dot get element by ID. The ID of the image is image1. Guys, if you just say dot width, it's not gonna work. If you just say dot width equal, I don't know, 20%, it's not gonna work for y'all. Look here. It doesn't work. And you see image disappeared. Something is wrong. You have to say dot style dot width. Dot style dot width. Now you guys will notice the image gets a lot smaller. Okay, dot style dot width. Are we good? Okay. Guys, what's going on over there? Okay, I'm moving now. Okay. Right, everybody, let's move on to lesson number 42. Should I be? Okay. Right, everybody, let's move on to a new file. Boys, girls, everybody, let's move on to lesson number 42 now. Everybody, I want to take a new file now. File, new file. And can you all save this as lesson 42 dash what? 42 dash how should I word it? Okay, can you guys say this? Lesson number 42, 42 dash outputting text in JavaScript .html. Outputting, I think that's right to say, but just take it down. Using only JavaScript, you're going to output text. Earlier, we created a paragraph using HTML, and inside that paragraph, we put text now. Now, directly using JavaScript only, you're going to output text. Okay, we'll see how that works. Okay, everybody are listening to me. Earlier, we created a paragraph, and then using JavaScript, we controlled the content of that paragraph. Now, without creating a HTML paragraph, I'm going to display text. Okay. So let's see how this works. Outputting text in JavaScript. So everybody, I come and give my opening tags HTML. I'll give a title again that says JavaScript text, JavaScript text. Then guys, girls, I'm going to put a heading over here that says outputting text using only JavaScript. Okay, you can put a paragraph below that just explains it. The below text was inserted using only JavaScript coding. Okay, the below text is not connected to any paragraph element. The below text is not connected to any paragraph element. Okay. Right. So below this, guys, using only JavaScript, I'm going to output some text. So everybody, let me first see the output of this web page. Let's open up this web page in Google Chrome and see lesson number 42. We open it up in JavaScript. We open it up in Google Chrome. Nothing extraordinary over here. Right. Earlier, guys, what were we doing? Earlier, when I wanted to insert text, I was creating a paragraph, and then using JavaScript, I was accessing that paragraph and putting text. Now, without creating any paragraphs, I'm going to put text. Okay. So now what do? We'll open up our JavaScript coding. So open up your script tag now, script. Inside this, guys, I'm going to put a code that says, again, I'm going to type document dot write. Document dot write is a function. So we open brackets. And inside brackets, you can tell JavaScript, what do you want written? Everyone okay with this? You can now tell what you want written. So you can say, for example, what do you want to write? I want to write, this text was created using, not necessarily put purely, using JavaScript only. This text was created using JavaScript only. It's not connected to any paragraph. It's not connected to any heading, purely JavaScript coding only. What do we use? Document.write. .write is a function. Okay. What does a function do? It will basically display whatever you tell it inside the brackets. Whatever you type inside the brackets will be displayed. Okay. Okay. So everyone see your output now. See your output now. Can you see some text on your web page? You can see some text, right? This text was purely created using JavaScript only. It was not connected to any paragraph. Are we all okay with this? It has no connection to any paragraph whatsoever. Okay. Then guys, girls, with that. Yes, everyone. We continue from here now. Guys, can we move on to lesson number 43 now, creating an alert? Everybody, so far we know how to control elements. We know how to control properties. We know how to display our own message using only JavaScript. We now learn how to we now look at how to insert an alert into your web page. Everyone, are you with me? Let's now have a look at how do we display an alert. Okay, like a pop-up. Okay, so lesson number 43 now, everyone. Lesson number 43, alerts in JavaScript.html, or you can just say alerts. We'll go into lesson number 43, alerts.html. Okay, lesson number 43 dash alerts.html. Okay, so how do we display an alert using JavaScript? Okay. So everyone, I'm going to click on save now. Okay, can you get your opening HTML tags, everybody? HTML, we have our HTML snippet over here. Okay, over here, I'm going to just say alerts. Then I'm going to have a heading over here that says displaying alerts using JavaScript. Okay, so how do we display an alert? An alert basically is something that's of importance. The user needs to know it immediately. Okay, so an alert will stop everything and show itself to the user. Okay. Everyone, come on. Right. Boys, Shema, are you all done? Okay, everybody, I'm going to integrate JavaScript into my web page. Now, everybody, I haven't put an alert yet. So right now, the heading is going to appear as it is. Can you guys check it out? If I open up my web page, guys, the heading appears as it is. Nothing unusual as such. Now, when I put an alert, guys, the alert will always be serviced first. Service first means what? No matter where you place your alert only will appear first. Okay. And alerts can be very annoying. Okay. So be very particular where you use it, because an alert will disrupt everything and put itself in front. Okay. Watch this. Everyone watch this. So now look here, I'm going to put an alert. So I'm going to open up my JavaScript coding script, boys. Script open, close, and I'm going to say window dot alert. Alert is a function, so it has brackets. Okay, window dot alert. This is a function. Inside your brackets, display the message that you want to show. This is an alert. Okay, the message that I want to show is this is an alert. Can everyone stop for a minute? Now look here, when I come and refresh my web page, look what happens. When I refresh my web page, the alert appears first. It stops everything and puts the alert in front. The user can't do anything else until he acknowledges this alert. Until you click on OK, the web page will not appear. So everybody, putting too many alerts can be very annoying for the user. So be very particular where you use it. Okay. So later on, I will show you how to use if conditions. If this happens, then this alert should appear. You get it? For telephone number, if the user puts 11 characters, immediately alert should appear saying you have put a wrong telephone number. Okay, those are all later on. But now you all know there is something called an alert. So can you all try this out? Window dot alert. Boys, can you finish it soon? Online environment, right? Who has asked me for online environment? Can you pass on him also? You also, right? You want to see this part one and two, right? Working fair? Everybody, let me move on to the next one. Everybody, boys. Everybody, let's move on to the next one. Now things are going to get a bit complicated. Everyone look here below. Guys, girls, now we are going to move on to something called, one second, let me make sure I have completed everything I have to complete. So everybody, we have done comments. I forgot to show you all. Everybody, let's work on comments. Oh, I'll teach you all comments in the next one below. Okay. I'll teach you all comments in the next one. Okay. Everybody, let's move on to everyone lesson number 44. File save, boys. Lesson number 44. Where is it? Variables and comments, or comments and variables. New file. Let's save it as lesson number 44. And what do we say over here? Comments, comma, variables, comments, variables, and constants dot HTML. Lesson number 41, everybody. Lesson number 41, sorry, 44. Lesson number 44, we are covering three things here: comments, variables, and constants. Okay. Okay. Right. I'm going to save this now. I'm going to save this now. Can you all get your opening tags, everybody? HTML. Can you all say the same thing over here? Comments, variables, and constants. Okay, can you guys put your heading also saying the same thing over here? H1, we will say working with comments, variables, and constants in JavaScript. Okay. Then everybody, I'm going to open up my scripting tag. Script open and close. Right. Okay. Everybody, there are two types of comments. You can have single line comments. You can have multi-line comments. Comments that take up the space of a single line and comments that take up many lines. So how do we type a single line comment? 2 slashes, and you can say this is a single line comment. Guys, you all know comments, your web browser doesn't execute, right? Everyone knows that now? A comment, your web browser doesn't execute. Who uses comments? Comments are for whose benefit? The developers. Comments are for the developers' benefit, to tell the developer what's happening in the code. And guys, the examiner for JavaScript questions, he will specifically mention use comments to explain your code. Everybody okay with this? You will notice in past paper questions for JavaScript questions, examiner will mention one of the requirements is use comments to explain your code. This is a single line comment. Then everybody, just like how we had in CSS, we have multi-line comments. Okay. So you can say this is a multi-line comment. Okay, so when your comment has multiple lines, this is how you type it, just like how we type in CSS. Okay, slash asterisk, and then we close it with asterisk slash. Okay, so this is how you type a single line comment. And this is how you type a multi-line comment. And remember, comments will not be executed by a web browser. They are solely for your reference. Okay. Then, boys, girls, everyone, we move on to something called variables. Now, I'm sure in mathematics you'll have learnt about variables, right? X is equal to this, A is equal to this, B is equal to this. Is it clear? The same concept, everyone are listening to me. Boys, look here below. The same concept can be applied in JavaScript. In JavaScript also, you can assign values or text to a variable. So I'll give you a very simple example. Everyone look here. Inside JavaScript, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, for example, the letter A. Everyone, boys, are looking here. The letter A, for example, is equal to a value of 5. Everyone okay with this? You can either say A is equal to 5, or you can say variable A, var A is equal to 5. Okay, boys, can I look here? You can either say A is equal to 5, you can say var means variable A is equal to 5, or you can say let A equal 5. Everybody okay with this? Okay, there are 3 ways of doing it. We'll take all 3 ways. Okay, so first you can say variable A is equal to 5, or you can say let B equal 5, or you can say C equal 5. All 3 ways are accepted, but the way that we will be using mostly is let. Variable var is normally used in old browsers. Okay, so in today's world we don't really use var. Okay, we either use just the letter or we say let. Okay, all 3 formats are accepted. Okay, so everybody, inside this particular web page, whenever I call A, how much will be taken? Whenever I call A, how much will be called? 5. Whenever you call A, you're basically calling 5. Whenever you call B, you're calling 5. Whenever you call C, you're calling 5. Everybody okay with this? In this particular web page, in this particular web page's memory, A is equal to 5. Everybody okay with this? Okay, let's change these numbers a little bit. 5, 6, and I'll call this 7. These are what we call variables. Now guys, can the value of a variable change in your program? Can the value of a variable change in your program? What do variables mean? Variables means going to change, right? So the value of a variable can keep changing in your program. I'll show you all how. Then guys, we have certain, values that are never going to change. We call those what? We call those constants. Everybody okay with this? A value that is never ever going to change. For example, I have a constant called pi. Okay, pi is equal to how much? 3.14, right? 3.14 something. Now pi is never ever going to change. It's always going to be 3.14. You can say pi, or you can say const. Const pi is equal to 3.14. It means it's a constant. It's not going to change. Okay, throughout my program, pi will remain 3.14. But A, B, and C, as I keep doing calculations, they might change. Everybody okay with this? Shall I put a comment explaining that? Okay, let's put a single line comment explaining it. Below are variables, okay, that contain numeric values. That contain numeric values. Okay, here I'm going to put another single line comment saying what? Below is a constant that contains a numeric value. Okay, then boys, girls, what if your variable is containing a text value, a string value? Then things are going to be a bit different. So we'll say, for example, okay, so I'm going to put another comment over here. Below variable contains a string value, string, or you can say text, string value. So then what do? Let D is equal to Platinum Business Academy. Okay, so variable D, you can say let D. Now Platinum is a string, no, it's text, no, so it has to be inside double quotes. Everybody okay with this? Numbers we don't put inside double quotes. Okay. Now guys, I want to print the value of variable A. Okay. Using JavaScript, I want to print the value of variable A. So I'm going to use document.write. So everyone over here, what am I going to, let me first check my web page. Is everything all right? I'm going to open up my web page, lesson number 44. So far nothing. The heading is there. The variables, I never called them. No, I never told them to display. No, so nothing is there. However, if you go to view page source, you can see all of them there. Okay now? Right, boys, girls, everybody. I'm going to call my variables now. So I'm going to use document.write. I'm going to say over here, document.write, boys, document.write. What am I going to write? The value of variable A is, I'm going to keep a space and I want to concatenate it with variable A. I want variable A's value to automatically fall over here. So I'm going to join it. I'm going to join this string with variable A. Everybody okay with this? So joining two parts is what we call concatenator. Joining two parts. I'm going to join this text with variable A. It should say the value of variable A is, and then I'm going to put a comma and join it with variable A. I'll just say A over here. Everyone okay with this? Did you all understand this? It's going to say the value of variable is, and then it's going to call A. How much is A equal to? A is equal to 5. So it's going to say the value of variable A is 5. Shall we see if that works? Save it. I'm going to come and refresh it. What do you guys see over here? The value of variable A is 5. Okay. Then guys, girls, I'm going to do a very simple mathematical operation here and we'll see what happens. So everybody, instead of a, did you all do this? Instead of a comma, replace the comma with a plus symbol and see what happens. Remove the comma and put a plus and see what happens. The value of variable A is, and say plus A and see what happens. Did it change at all? It didn't change at all. You can use a comma or a plus symbol to concatenate. But there is a difference between the two, okay? I'm going to show you all what the difference is. There is a difference, but right now difficult to show. Everybody, plus and comma can both be used to concatenate. Concatenate means what? Join two statements together, join two variables together, join a constant and a variable together. That's what we call concatenate. Now watch my second example. Everybody, I'm going to write a new statement. I'm going to say document.write the value of variable A plus or B plus C, the value of variables B plus C is, and I'm going to keep a space. And now I want to concatenate this with B plus C. Can you guys look first? Can everyone look first? We'll first see the output, then you all know the differences. No, everyone stop work below. I have now typed document.write the value of variables B plus C is, okay, and I put a comma. I'm going to concatenate using a comma. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to take B and add it with C. Everyone saw this? Shall we see how the output looks? We'll see how the output looks. Okay. So save it. Everyone look at the output now. What does the output say? Everyone, I forgot to, how do I take this to the next line? BR. But in JavaScript, how do you say BR? Yeah, how? In JavaScript, guys, over here, you have to concatenate with BR tag. So you will say plus, open double quotes and say BR. Everyone okay with this? If you want to send it to the next line in JavaScript, this is how we do it. Inside double quotes, you will say BR. Concatenate with BR. Let me see if it works. Now when I refresh, it works perfectly. Everyone saw this? Okay. Problem, I'll come to you. I'll explain this and come. Everyone, this is how we have a line break in JavaScript. Okay, plus in double quotes, we say BR. Now, everyone, can you stop for a second and look here? When I said comma, B plus C, what happened? It said 13. It works perfectly well. Now look here, everyone, stop for a second below. When I said comma, the addition happened without a problem. Look at this. If I remove the comma and put a plus here, now see the output. When I kept a comma, everyone, when I kept a comma, B plus C, addition happened perfectly well. 7 plus 6. It happened perfectly well. Okay. But when I remove the comma, the concatenation comma, when I remove, and when I put a plus, now watch what happens. What happened now? The values of variable B plus C is 6, 7. What did it do? It did not add these two values together. Instead, what did it do? It took each of them separately. Everyone okay with this? So what did you learn from this? If you want to perform a mathematical operation, put a comma before. Don't put plus. When you put plus, it will consider each of them as separate values. And it will not perform a mathematical operation. Am I making sense to you all? Everyone, when I put a comma, the addition actually took place over here. But when I put the plus symbol, it took this as a separate value. It took this also as a separate value. It did not add the two. Okay. Right. I'm going to go back and remove the plus and I'm going to put a comma. Okay. I'm going to remove this plus and put a comma. Then the addition over here is going to work. The addition over here is going to work. Now when I come and refresh it, it says 13. Okay. Can you guys try this out? Now guys, all of you. Okay. So now you all know how to work with variables. You all know how to work with concatenation as well. Okay. So everybody, we know comments, we know variables, we know constants. We also know how to concatenate them, how to join them. Okay. Guys online, I did not send you all the JavaScript tute. Can you all take it from here, please? Guys, everyone give me a minute, please. JavaScript tute is over here. Right, what do we have next? Right, everybody, can you all read this with me? Everybody, can you all read this on my screen? You're all done now? We're going to wrap up now. Everyone, can you all read this with me? Read these rules below. Just read these rules. Okay, everybody, you can create variables automatically, meaning you just say A is equal to whatever. Or you can put var in front of it, or you can put let in front of it, or you can put const. But const is normally used for a variable that is not going to change. It's always going to remain the same. Okay, so everyone look over here. Can you all read this also then? Everyone read this below. Var keyword was used in all JavaScript from 1995 to 2015, which means var is no longer valid in today's world. It will work, but it's not the latest. The latest is what? The latest is let. So when creating variables, either don't say anything or say let. Okay. The var keyword should only be used in code written for older browsers, which you guys will not be having to deal with. So try either use nothing or use let. Okay, right. Now can you all read these rules? Can you guys read these rules, everyone? always declare variables. You know what that means? Always start with a variable, meaning A is equal to something or B is equal to something. Don't suddenly use A in the middle of an equation. Always before you use it, define what it is equal to. You guys get it? Before doing any calculation with A, B, C or with any variable, first declare it. First say what it is equal to. Then you can use it. Okay? Read the second rule. Always use const if the value should not change. If the variable is not going to change, then use const in front of the variable name. Always use const if the data type is not going to change. That I did not explain to you all. That's coming up very much later. Read the next one. Only use let if the value is going to change. If the variable value is going to change, then use let. And use var only in older browsers. Hold on. Can you all see the rules of your variables? Can everyone read the rules of your variables? Your variable names, we call them identifiers. Everyone looking here? Your variable names are what we call identifiers. So variable names can have letters, can have digits, that is numbers, can have underscore and can have dollar sign. Okay? Hashtags not allowed, periods not allowed. Okay? Names must begin with a letter. Your variable names must start with a letter. Names can also begin with a dollar symbol and underscore. Your variable name can start with a dollar symbol or an underscore also. Names are case sensitive. Simple Y and capital Y are two different variables. Are you all with me? Okay. Variable names are case sensitive. And read the last one. You can use reserved keywords. Like for example, your variable name cannot be JavaScript. Your variable name cannot be var. Your variable name cannot be let. You get it? You can't use reserved JavaScript keywords as your variable name. Are we good? Okay then everybody. With that, I'm going to stop then. Until we meet again next Thursday. Take care, stay safe. See you all next Thursday. Guys online, all of you notice something to give them. Okay, everybody. Announcement. Everyone, there's an announcement.
Sorry, this is a phone portrait, and you guys need to submit it to the front office.
Okay, guys online, I'm ending this then. Take care. See you all next Thursday. Okay, bye-bye.